has been chosen for a great task. To save the innocent.
The innocent?
The animals.
Why are they innocent? Because they still live as they did in the garden.
Yes. And we need to save enough of them to start again.
But what of us?
I guess we get to start again too.
That's a scene from Noah starring Russell Crowe, which opens next Friday. It's the first of several movies with biblical themes due to flood the theaters this year. So why is Hollywood returning to the Bible as a source of material? Matt Singer is a film critic and editor for the movie website thedissolve.com. Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
What's behind this recent surge of films?
Well, I think one thing is this miniseries, The Bible, that played on TV last year. It had something like 100 million total viewers. I think that definitely reminded some people there is a big audience out there for this sort of thing. The other big factor is the same thing that drives Hollywood to make comic book movies, movies based on old TV shows. They're always looking for that property that has instant brand name recognition. Everybody knows the Bible. It's very well known. It's a hot property.
But I think this seems late because in 2004, when they did Passion of the Christ, it made $500 million. So why didn't they do it right after that?
Yeah, there were a couple of attempts. There was this movie, The Nativity Story, that came out in 2006. That ended up only making about $45 million, which was like 10% of what The Passion of the Christ made. So that audience that is out there and is hungry, they can be very valuable, but if you don't treat them right, they can really turn against you. I mean, they really are focused on how faithful that property is. You know, it's kind of like making a comic book movie. You have to make sure that core audience thinks you're treating that property with respect. And if you don't, they can get a little upset.
Which may be a problem for some films we're hearing already, right? With one of the films that's coming out.
That's right. Noah, the movie that's coming out first. I mean, there has been a lot of talk about the battle sort of between the director, Darren Aronofsky, and the studio about which Noah to release. Aronofsky had sort of made this kind of very personal film that maybe took a little artistic license, but that might not appeal to that core audience. So there's been sort of this battle going on about which Noah to release. They ultimately went with Aronofsky's version, but they're supposedly putting disclaimers on the advertising saying that it's only sort of inspired by the biblical story to sort of maybe hedge their bets, stem that controversy before it happens.
Can you take artistic license with the Bible? That's the interesting question.
Are there any other biblical movies that we should expect in 2014?
The big one that's coming out in the fall is Exodus, which is the classic Moses story. Christian Bale is playing Moses, and it's directed by Ridley Scott, who made Blade Runner and Alien and a million classic movies.
Right. Is what's your favorite biblical movie?
You know, it's old-fashioned, but I kind of like that it's old-fashioned. The Ten Commandments from 1956, Cecil B. DeMille. You know, the Bible's a little old-fashioned, so I think an old-fashioned approach kind of works for a biblical movie. And I don't know that cast has ever been topped. You know, with Charlton Heston as Moses. Yul Brynner, there you see Edward G. Robinson, yeah, Moses, yeah, the Ten Commandments, yeah, you know, it's a classic. It's a little old-fashioned, but I still enjoy it.
Well, then what are your least favorite?
You know, I think maybe it's on my mind a little because we are talking about Noah, but Evan Almighty was this movie that you're making a face like you like that movie. I can tell just from the face.
I'm mainstream America.
Look at what you like. Look at Steve Carell in that ridiculous getup. I mean, that is blasphemous. Not my
Always
favorite.
a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.